we will try our best to keep you awake. Okay. Hi everyone. We are presenting on the Lehman Brothers. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I'm Nemo. This is Armando, Sam, Robert, and Oliver. We're going to be going through the fraud that happened through this company and other people involved. And next slide, please. Okay. Wow. Someone's already taking credit for this presentation. Anyway. So who were the Lehman Brothers? They were a company that were pretty big.
The Lehman Brothers basically are the fourth largest financial institution in the world before 2008. So what I want to get to you is the backstory of how they became the Lehman Brothers up to 2008. So Henry Lehman was the original Lehman brother. He was originally from Rimpart, Germany, and he traveled to the United States, Alabama, Montgomery, because he traveled there because it's the southernmost country in the United States, and back then it was during the Civil War, and the Civil War was huge with cotton, and it was a huge commodity. So a couple of years passed by. His two brothers, Emmanuel and Mary, ended up joining a small merchandising company. So during the Civil War, they got some damage, and they had to relocate to New York. In New York, the reason they moved to New York was it's a big financial district with all these other companies. So when they moved to New York, Alabama's governor ended up calling back the Lehman Brothers to sell bonds bonds that Alabama needed to get rid of for the state. So the Lehman Brothers had to go back to Alabama and sell their bonds. As soon as they sold their bonds, they went back to New York, and they sold all the bonds that Alabama had to sell, and they had this new idea that they should begin trading and selling bonds. So they removed the cotton away from their commodity, and they picked up bonds.
Yeah. But, I mean, why do we care? Why do we care about the Lehman Brothers? So, back in 2007, they were voted most admired in their securities by Fortune magazine. So that just shows you how big of a company and how big of an impact their fraud was when all of this went down. Now we'll learn a little bit more about their fraud and what made it so huge.
So what fraud did the Lehman Brothers commit? The elusive Repo 105. No, not the show or the profession of repossessing cars from people who cannot make their payments. It is an accounting transaction. That's the CEO of Lehman Brothers. So what is the Repo 105? Well, it's the most complicated accounting transaction. And I actually Google searched and found two incredible people who had something to say about the Repo 105. The first one you'll all recognize and know. It's Voltaire. And he says this: some say Louis XIV was a madman because of his mother issues. And it was actually because of him trying to figure out how to succeed Charles II's throne through the Repo 105. The second person you guys will know is he a genius, and he's also helped all of us, and he's also helped the universe, and it's Einstein. And when he was doing some analysis on the Repo 105, he had this to say: I tried, but out of it, referencing Repo 105, I discovered E equals MC squared. So there you have it, man in the iron mask who just destroyed the whole entire Europe, and then you have Einstein who created the atomic bomb. So let's go down into the nitty-gritty of the real Repo 105. We start with two firms, Lehman Brothers and the Cayman Island banks. Lehman Brothers sends $50 billion of securities of bad debt to Cayman Island banks. Cayman Island banks then sends $45 billion of cash to Lehman Brothers, which increases cash, decreases short-term debt from using the cash, increases sales revenue because they use that as a sales transaction, which increases net income. When do they do this? The timing of each quarter, when people are actually looking at their financial statements to make important decisions. Now we're going to go to step 2. So what do they do after that transaction happens? Well, Lehman Brothers gives back $45 billion in cash plus interest. Cayman Islands banks gives $50 billion back of the securities of bad debt, which then reverses the balance sheet when when nobody was looking. Now, that's a lot of information, and I know what you're all thinking, each and every one of you. Why? Because I can read minds. And this is the exact question that's in all of your minds.